Hi, and welcome back to the Iteration Station. I'm Kevin, and we're here to make things better one iteration at a time. Okay, so you might be asking yourself why the RV for a project for the Iteration Station, and I'll explain why. My wife and I travel with 4 dogs, and we have to go see family and friends, and we would like to see more of the country. And if you do that, you'll know that it's extremely expensive or almost impossible to find a place to stay. So the RV became our project, and in becoming our project, some friends and I started a new company, and I started telling them about this project, and they decided that it would be a great idea to apply our data acquisition board to the RV. And the reason for that is it's a chassis, it's a truck, it's a bus, it has a diesel engine, so there's lots of things to automate there, and then also it's on top of it is a house. That has lots of things to automate, like home automation, so to speak. And then also on top of that, you'd have solar, which we could have battery technology, and we could have solar panels. So that gave us a really good foundation to do lots of different projects with one item. That most of our other projects that we'll use the Iteration Station for and our DAC board will be machine control, other home automation, off-grid living, things like that. I found YouTube to be a great place to find out new information and learn new things, even for this project. So as we do this project, I'm going to be watching other people's videos to educate myself so I do a better job for you. I like watching Smarter Every Day. It's a guy who does a lot of physics stuff. From the RV side, my wife and I did a lot of research before we bought this one using James at AZ Expert to learn about older RVs and repairs and what to look for when we went to buy our RV. So when I went to look to purchase one, I knew to get on the roof and what to look for, things like that. Andrew Steele was another guy we watched. He goes through super expensive RVs, and he will tell you all the features that they have. So that allowed me to say, hey, I would like this feature on my older RV. It gave us a list of things to do. And then also just in general, as we were looking at RVs and thinking about doing RV travel, we started watching videos from Today is Someday and Keep Your Daydreams, and just probably everybody that makes one, we've watched them now. So it's a really good resource for doing everything. If you want to learn something new, I'd recommend you just keep going around on YouTube. If you don't watch my videos, watch someone else's. But it's a really good place to go. Another reason this RV makes a really good project is because I believe they're undervalued. You can buy an older RV like this considerably cheaper than even a pull behind a lot of times. And if you have some mechanical knowledge and don't have to do all the work yourself, I wouldn't recommend it for somebody who's going to have everything fixed and pay to have everything fixed, because at that point you are going to run up some big bills. But if you have some decent mechanical knowledge and you can do some of your work yourself, whether that's in the house or on the chassis or both, then at that point it becomes a really economical way to have a really nice vehicle with really good high quality finishes for not a lot of money. Okay, enough of me standing here talking. Let's get into the tour. Now before we go inside and I show you all the things we've done inside, we're going to start in the basement. I haven't done a lot of work in the basement yet. There'll be a lot of things in future episodes to come in the basement. But the very first thing I want to talk about is this is, like I said, an old Fleetwood. It's a 1998, so things are almost 30 years old. Plastic's going to fail. Things are going to have issues on the road. I want to be able to fix as many of those things as I can right up front. And so before I get started, I thought I needed to have a toolbox. So I built a toolbox in the basement, and I'll show you what I've got here. Some work on the road. It's on a nice slide. Comes out, and what I did was I put tubes on the bottom of the box and built this little quick piece of tubing that bolts through the floor. What that does is it locks it in place. It can't slide fore and aft when you're going down the road. And then when it's all the way closed going down the road, the back of the toolbox fits perfectly against the frame. So it's trapped. It can't go anywhere. And inside I've got lots of big wrenches and stuff that I might need on the road. I've got screwdriver bits, drill bits, Allen wrenches, electrical supplies, meters, hose removing tools in case we have plumbing issues. I tried to think of anything I might have to do on the road, and I've got line wrenches for AC. I've got a sniffer for propane in case I get a propane leak, I can find it. This is my battery charger for my e-bike, and I've got some supplies. I got Odinger clamps to repair any plumbing that would need to be repaired. I've got socket sets and my 1/2-inch ones out there right now, but then I've got organization for my screwdrivers, pliers, wrenches, extensions, things like that. And down here in the bottom drawer, I've got hammers and pry bars and tape measures, things like that. So basically, I know I can't fix everything on the road. If I'm going to fix a flat tire, I'm probably going to call AAA and let them do that. I don't have a way to jack this thing up safely and change tires or the torque wrenches to be sure I torque the lug nuts back on correctly. So the next thing I want to show you is the inside. Susie and I have done a lot of work on the inside of it. I wish we'd have started this channel when we did a lot of this work, because I did a lot of custom woodwork and some different things, but hopefully I can do some more of that as we go here and add some videos on how I do it. So if you're interested in how I've built something that's in there right now, I'll probably do something similar down the road. So let's go on inside. Okay, come on in here. Let's look around the inside of this 1998 Fleetwood RV. Like I was saying about price varies from about $15,000 to $40,000 for a running unit from 1995 to mid 2005s. And the advantages of that is you get no def for the diesel engine. If you get a diesel one, you have hardwood cabinets, which you can't get today on newer models. They're just built out of a higher quality material. So if you find one that mechanically is good, has good bones, so to speak, then you've got something to build on. So that's what Susie and I did. We started doing the inside. And what really is exciting to me now is the high-tech stuff that we're going to do with our DAC boards and with our peripheral sensors and things like that. We're really going to make this thing over time. If you watch us over time, it's going to end up being really modern and having all this super cool electronic stuff that a lot of these super expensive RVs have. So now I've got good bones, low price, and high tech. And we got the slide out. It's only got one slide. It's just a one slide coach. And it gives us plenty of room. When this slide comes in with this couch that we have here, we bought a sectional couch. It's just a home couch. Didn't put any feet on it. Added the seat belts into it so my wife could be safe. And then we built it in a way that we still have room to walk. It's about less than a foot when it's closed, but you can still manage to get through without being too much trouble. We built this unit here to take the place of the couch that was on this side, because it's just the two of us and the 4 dogs, and so we didn't need 2 couches necessarily. And so there you can see the brush finish. It looks real nice, and I'll do a video for you guys to show you how I did that. Basically, I put just enough tin in it to give it a nice color. You could make brushed aluminum look any color you want, with any colors that you can get for epoxy, and leave it transparent by just not putting enough in it to make it opaque. So I did the countertop for the top of that, and it is a TV lift that comes up. We put a small TV in. When I go camping, I really am interested in seeing what's outside, so the TV is kind of a less of a priority than it is at home. Also, I don't know if you can look up here or not, but I made some little 3D printed some little covers for the top of my LED lights that I put in here, and that keeps me, when I'm sitting across the way, from staring at a light. I hated that. When I first sat down, I was always staring at a light. My wife and I reupholstered the valances. They were all flowery when we got it, and then we added some thermal blinds in, so that way when it's hot or cold, we can more efficiently heat or cool the RV without using as much energy. We took all the hardware off. It was all brass because, you know, it was 1998. So we took all the brass off, and we used a combination of all black and then some black and gold. Moving on, we've got the kitchen area that we really haven't done much work. We did get rid of all the bevel mirrors. We had bevel mirrors here and here and here, and then we decided that trend had run its course, and we put some little tile here, painted this. We'll add some stuff to the wall later, and then we've got our slat wall over here. We also built a walnut table to take care of the Formica table that was here before, and we used epoxy in the center, and I created a leg for it that had a really narrow, I wanted to make it really tiny at the bottom so you'd have more foot room to get in, because it's not, you know, RVs don't have excess area to get in and out, so that made it comfortable for everybody. You can follow me back here. So it still have the old Norcold refrigerator in it. It still works really well, so we haven't bothered replacing it. It runs on propane or AC. We've got a washer dryer combo here that I don't think the previous owners hardly ever used. It works fantastic. My wife has used it several times. Pantry areas up here. This is the bathroom. We went ahead and wallpapered in there and kind of went a little crazy with some color because it's such a small space. We wanted to add some interest to it. Has a little light up there with the motion sensor so that at night you can go in there and it automatically turns on. So we haven't done a whole lot in there, just some wallpaper, and we added a bidet as well. So into the bathroom here, and we created these covers for the lights. The lights had just bulbs there, would stare you in the face when you turn them on. So my wife bought that linen material I 3D printed and put some magnets in some hangers there to hold them, and they work great. They go down the road just fine. As you can see, we've kind of gone with the black and gold theme where we need to in here. And the reason we did that in here, where everything's kind of black and gold, is because we left the shower brass. And we debated about whether to do that or not, but we kind of decided that it was okay. Some of this brass on here kind of looks antiqued. It's kind of a nice finish. So we just went ahead and worked with it. This is the new switch that we just put in, and it'll be in the next video that you watch. And that's for the water heater. And it's wired or it's wireless, either one. And you'll get to, if you come back and watch that video, you'll see how we did that. It's a pretty cool system. It's the beginning of the automation. So I 3D printed this. Housing and then machined this brass bead out. And there's some tips I've got for that in the next video as well. So you can save yourself a ton of money. If you go on eBay and try to look for these old switches and try to match them, they cost a fortune. So we didn't do a lot in the bedroom other than we changed all the hardware out once again. And then the wife got some different bedding. We decided to go ahead and leave the mirrors in there. It looks kind of nice. It's got a little accent lighting. Here's where we're doing most of our work, in this old TV hole. So one of the things we did back here is this is the new touchscreen that we've got built in the old television tube hole. And I've got a switch over here on the side that I can turn it on and off. And I'll build a vent up here. We'll probably put a fan in there to pull heat out and maybe even make some cool air to come into the room like a fan. And eventually this will have a GUI that's built for the RV that has, different graphics, so it actually matches. The lab GUI is just basically buttons and numbers. Okay, that's a tour of the RV at this point. What we've done so far, we have a lot of work left to do. We're going to go ahead and do lots and lots of modifications on this channel. The iteration station, this is the first iteration. This is where we're at right now. And then hopefully as we do more and more videos, we'll do more and more upgrades from the computer to solar to 360 cameras to do-it-yourself 48-volt battery where we can have a lot of stored energy. We're going to build probably a rack on top of the RV to hold solar panels where we won't have obstructions. We're going to do lots and lots of modifications. If you keep watching our videos, we're going to try to give you as much information as we can and try to start working with this Jupiter I/O board that I mentioned earlier, the DAC board. It's going to be critical in all this stuff. It's going to be something that we'll develop in front of you and show you exactly how to do it, and we'll have the peripherals to go with it. So eventually we'll have those to sell to go along with it. So what we'd like to do eventually, the 10,000 foot view of it is, we'd like to be able to put together a package for RVs, whether that's a tow behind RV, Class A, Class B, newer ones that don't have the options, older ones that don't have the options. We're going to try to put together some kind of general packages that would work. And hopefully you guys can have some input. If you watch our channel and you like and subscribe, go down and do that, because we want your input as we're doing projects. And if you have an RV that you have left a door open and torn it up, or you have pulled a electrical cord out, or your fans have been left up and broken going down the road, tell us about that. That can become a project for us. That's the kind of things we're going to be doing. We're going to make sure the slides are in. We're going to make sure that the fan lids are down. We're going to make sure the doors are shut. So when I get in the driver's seat, all I have to do is push my foot on the brake, The system will look at all the sensors, will tell me if it's all good. If I don't get any warnings, then we can go. I don't have to have a big checklist. I don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. It'll all be automated. Also, we'll be able to automate, stuff like the water heater or battery balancing, or we're going to add an alternator generator for the battery power going down the road. Things like that will all be automated through the DAC board and through the computer. And so I think we can really make RVs super sophisticated without breaking the bank. In one of our future episodes, like I promised earlier in this one, I'm going to do lots of tips and tricks. And so what I'm going to do in this particular area is we're going to build a table here, a cabinet, out of the steel frame with aluminum, epoxy aluminum with the wood top to match what we did across the way with the fireplace and the TV stand. And take a look at that. So this corner is going to have that same type finishes, same wood, same epoxy. And the reason I'm going to do this, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'll try to explain it to you here. My wife and I, there's only 2 of us. It's all that ever travels, but we have 4 dogs. Well, with 4 dogs, 4 small dogs, no less, what happens is if you go down the road, they don't really want to stay in the back, and we're not going to kennel them, so they'd want to be on their lap. So what we decided was the best thing to do was for her to sit in the front seat of the couch here. I can still talk to her, it's no problem. And she can watch out the side windows, and the dogs hang out with her on the couch. And we're going to just remove this seat and leave it off. Now we'll keep the seat in case we sell this someday, but the whole idea behind it is this couch, the arm is not really designed to take any kind of impact. So if we'd have an accident or something, this would collapse and she would hit this. It would be awful. So I've got a seat built in there for her. So if she's built it in and the seat's solid, I'll build a steel frame in this area, and I'll attach the steel frame with gussets to this mount, because this mount's made to take an accident with a person's weight on it. So the frame will be attached to that, and it'll all be bolted together to where if we sell it someday, it's just a matter of unbolting it, disassemble the thing, take it out, put the seat back in, and the other person can be good to go. So we're not really ruining this for everybody else, but for us, this seems to work well. So I should be able to do a wood top. I can show you how we face the wood top off, how I finish it, and the different things. I use a CNC a lot for that. I also do a CNC pattern because we're going to put shoe slots in this for shoes. As you can see, we have our shoes sitting beside it now. They'll have our own place. These keys, we'll have a compartment in the front where the keys can hang. I've got a swing arm that I've designed for putting the dog leashes on, so all our dog leashes can be here ready on a swing arm as we go out the door. Same thing with dog bags, things like that. So this will become a nice little storage compartment. And I'll put a bevel on the front here so you have nice access into the coach without having to go around it. So I hope you'll join us to watch us build that cabinet. I hope you'll join us to watch the next episode, which is where we really start automating our very first automation. See how that goes. And then I hope you join us long term, because like Susie and I, we've watched every episode of about everybody else's RV stuff. Once we kind of got hooked on it, we really enjoyed it. So we hope you enjoy our videos, and I'll have to get her and the dogs in the video at some point. They're a lot better looking than I am, so hopefully we can incorporate them in some future videos as well. Please like and subscribe. Please check the links below, and we'll see you soon.